Emmanuel Makinde asks, I am transitioning into cybersecurity with background in networking and working experience in telecommunications. Also, I just completed a 15-week cybersecurity boot camp with CYSA plus CERT. My question would be, how can I land my next role in cybersecurity that will provide continuous hands-on learning? So, there are a few different things you can do, and it depends on where you are now. A lot of these answers are it depends. So you're transitioning into cybersecurity. You got a background in networking and working experience in telecommunications. That's great. You've got to learn IT and networking and a lot of the basic IT stuff in order to understand cybersecurity. Cybersecurity builds on top of that. So hopefully you've already got a good foundation. Sounds like you do. You've completed a 15-week cybersecurity boot camp with CYSA and you got a certification. How can you land your next role in cybersecurity that will provide continuous hands-on learning? Well, there's kind of two questions there. How do you land your next role in cybersecurity? One, keep doing what you're doing. Keep building up your skill set. Keep building up your IT experience. Keep learning about cybersecurity. And as far as getting your next role, I may be able to help you with that. In fact, I am launching a service called Tracy's List. I actually have a database of well over 1,000 recruiters. So if you would like to send me your resume, I'll help you maybe spiff it up a little bit if necessary. And I would be happy to send your resume to all of these recruiters. Normally, that's a service that I'm looking to charge a couple $100s for, but it being that we're just launching it and I could use some test subjects, recruiters are an excellent way to find your next gig. I find that going to company websites and filling out their job applications is, I wouldn't say it's a waste of time. I mean, it's something good to do if you're not doing anything else. But if you can get in touch with a bunch of recruiters, that's definitely the way to go. Oh, LinkedIn. Get on LinkedIn if you're not already. Get on LinkedIn, upload your, fill in all the information about previous jobs, all of your experience, build up your LinkedIn profile. Take a look at mine. In fact, I get pretty much all my work, all my jobs, all my contracts. I do lots of various different things. I do not strictly have a traditional standard 9 to 5 job. I actually work for a cybersecurity consulting company and I have different projects and clients all the time. And I often have to find my own business. It helps anyway to keep myself utilized within the consulting company. Otherwise, they cut me loose if I'm not on any projects, right? So I got to stay busy. But let's go look at this. This is my LinkedIn profile. So you definitely want to have a LinkedIn. This is the company I work for. I am open to work. I'm always looking for new projects. And, I've got a nice professional headshot of myself here. I filled in my about info, all of my previous experience, all my certifications, all my skills. I've got a whole bunch of recommendations given and received. I've got all my professional organizations, affiliations, all that kind of stuff on there. So because I've got my background on here and my certifications and everything, when people search for, a cybersecurity architect who is fluent in AWS and containerization and vulnerability management and all that kind of stuff, they find me. And I get, as you can see here, lots of messages. Now, a lot of these are spammers. Anytime it says LinkedIn member, that's somebody who messaged me and then had their account deleted because they were doing something against the LinkedIn terms of service. I go through and I delete those. But yeah, you can see I get lots of messages from people wanting to hire me for jobs. Now, if you're a little bit earlier in your career, You may not get quite as many just due to not so much extensive cybersecurity experience, but LinkedIn is definitely a good place to hunt for jobs, to make yourself visible. Recruiters can, in a way, come to you. Of course, it'll take a long time to build up as many recruiters and connections as I have, but get started now. You've got possibly many years of career ahead of you, right? So LinkedIn, recruiters, fix up your resume, send me your resume. I'll be happy to blast you out to over 1,000 recruiters, and we'll see how it goes. Now, the other question you had was, you're interested in continuous hands-on learning. Pretty much any cybersecurity job will get you into continuous hands-on learning. Now, some employers are better about training than others. Most employers really don't want you sitting and training. They want you doing whatever they hired you to do. But regardless, anytime you're actually doing the job, you're learning. But I would note that continuous hands-on learning is largely up to you. When you're not working, if they are not keeping you challenged with something interesting to learn about, you're going to have to learn on your own. Really helps to be a self-starter in this business. Nobody's going to hand it all to you on a silver platter, right? So I am always learning. Be on the lookout for what are the latest security vulnerabilities. Mac OS, all the iOS devices just this past week had an emergency security fix deployed. Why don't you go see what that's all about, right? Keep up on top of the vulnerability news. I just recorded a video where I said, build your own VPN server, build your own router, firewall. There's a lot of stuff you can do for continuous hands-on learning. One of the great things about cybersecurity and IT in general is that you can learn all this stuff on your own. It's not like being a brain surgeon, or even just any kind of medical doctor. You can't just doctor on people at home as a hobby or for fun in your spare time, right? But in IT, computer hardware is cheap and abundant now. You don't need latest spec stuff. 10-year-old computers will do all kinds of great things for you in terms of learning. All the information you need is out there on Google, YouTube, full of how-to videos. There's tons of free documentation. You want to search for anything in the word how-to, HOWTO, and you'll find a guide, a tutorial for setting up, configuring, doing just about anything. All of the information that you need is there. It's all online. That's how I did it. I'm pretty much all self-taught. I've taken a few classes, but that was more later on in my career, really. Early on, I just learned everything that I could online. Know how to Google. Google's very important. I don't recommend memorizing hardly anything. Eventually you memorize things, you get the commands programmed into your fingers because you use them so much. But yeah, just know how to Google. Know how to find things. That's way more important than memorizing things. But yeah, that's my answer. That's how you find a job, and that's how you pull off continuous hands-on learning. If you're lucky, you'll have an employer who will send you to training, but more likely, you are going to be learning on the job just by doing the job and accumulating experience. And outside of that, I highly recommend doing stuff on your own, building a home lab, all the kind of stuff that I mentioned in the previous video. Good luck.